it's like everything. When you win 3 on the bounce or 5 on the bounce or whatever, you can't, go walking around the town centre, with patting yourself on the back. Likewise, when you have 3-4 games without the results that you want, you can't go around the town centre with a rope trying to hang yourself. It is what it is. The Championship's brutal, as we know. If you look at let's leave the cup game out of this, but if we take the last 3 league games, Middlesbrough 7th in the league was never going to be an easy one, and we hamper ourselves by going down to 10 men for 30 minutes. So in the end, you go, all right, it's a point. Let's take it. Let's go home. Millwall away. I'll challenge anyone who finds that an easy place to go midweek when the pitch is, shot to bits. We get a point. And then at Swansea the other night, we didn't do enough, and we made 2 mistakes, and we end up coming home without any points. But I think overall, if you look at the 28 games, if someone would have said we'll be where we are, I think we all would have taken it. If you compare with our biggest competitors, who I think we can realistically compare ourselves with, which is Watford and Bournemouth, because all 3 of us were relegated last season. I think both of them would swap places with us. They've had to change their managers, both of them now mid-season, which causes whatever that causes. So no, I think overall, if you look, how the new players have settled in, how Daniel and the staff have done, I think they've done an incredible job, to have, managed through a pandemic, a relegation where, let's be honest, the last 12 games for us was brutal last year. We didn't just narrowly get relegated. It was, it's like death by 1,000 cuts, to pick ourselves up and the work that Daniel and his staff have done and the players, I think has been incredible. I think they're doing an absolutely incredible job. As a club, we're very proud of them. We're very grateful to them. And I think the benefit of experience is we understand you're not going to win every game. And I know that's hard for fans to sometimes get their head round, but it's football. And that's why, we love football. It's why Man United 2 weeks ago lost to Sheffield United, then draw at Arsenal and their world ended. And then they go and put 9 on the team and suddenly, they're the best team in the world again. And, it's why Liverpool now are suddenly absolutely bang average and Jurgen Klopp's the worst manager ever. Let's be honest, 6 months ago, he's the greatest manager to ever walk, set fours in England. So I think we're lucky that we're experienced enough to be realistic. And we know this league, and this league is brutal. As you know, it is brutal. There's a reason, I think, why only one team's only ever got over 100 points. Sorry, there's a reason for that. It's horrendous. So every point's a good one, and it's about sort of sticking together, working through any difficult patches, and suddenly you win a game and the world's a lot better place. I'm sure all of our competitors have had sticky patches or will have sticky patches, and it is what it is. You just get on with it. We're playing all right. Yeah, we'd like to create more, of course we would, but we're not a million miles away. We're not a million miles away.
How big you touched on it there, the factor of 2 seasons ago, that experience. Daniel and his coaches are the same. There's a core group of players who are the same. They've been over this terrain. They know it was Sheffield United and Leeds then. Maybe you could say, without any disrespect to the clubs below, it's maybe Swansea and Brentford at the minute. So there's very similar parallels. How big do you feel this could be now, this experience of they know when it gets a bit squeaky bum time, to use that phrase, they know what's required and they're able to ride out these, like you say, difficult periods? Could that be a big card in your pack, as it were?
Yeah, I think it has to be. It's we've got a manager who's won this league, which is huge, and all the staff. We've got staff who have been promoted here sort of 3 or 4 times. Staff have been here a long time. People like myself who've been fortunate to have done it at a couple of clubs. And lots of players who have sort of been there and sort of done it. So it's I think here, if we're walking around Colney, the place is calm. I think we're all realistic. We know that you're not going to win every game in this league. It's brutal, when you play every 3 days like we are at the minute on difficult pitches in a condensed schedule. You got to get through it and take it sort of just game by game and not look too far ahead, not start trying to predict, if we could get this points in this month or whatever. It's about, let's try and beat Stoke on Saturday, and then after Saturday, whoever the next game is, let's try and go and let's try and beat them, and then one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. And I think experience is crucial when you go into the running, and we're not quite in the running yet, but we're about 5 games away from when it gets to the real business end, and that's where the pressure steps up a notch. We've had a lot of focus on us in the last couple of months because we've been top and we're the team who come from the Premier League and we won it last time. Now it'll be Swansea and Brentford's turn to probably have that pressure. Swansea's result has probably put them on the map where everyone's going, oh, look, Swansea now they're the new favourites. Look, they're going to go and win the league and win the next 18 games in a row. And it becomes a different pressure then when everyone starts looking at you. And every time you make a mistake, everyone overanalyzes it because you're in that position now. We'd much rather be in that position than stuck in the middle of the league where no one cares, let's be honest. We'd rather have this this sort of pressure. But like I say, we've been through it so many times before. It's not really pressure, it's just realism for us, and we just get on with it.
Sorry, mate. A final one, slight tangent, but it's popped into me. Did you see those Alex Tettey quotes about I think he's quite keen to maybe go down the coaching route beyond this season? We know he's like in his final year in terms of his playing contract. I mean, I think he did an interview just in the Norwegian press. He did say he hadn't spoken really to Daniel too deeply, but where would your headspace be at in terms of Alex? Because you're talking about good influences and people who've been around, but to have a player like that influencing younger players, I'm sure that would be something you'd like to tap into. But obviously, there's a lot of moving parts to that. But is there anything that possibly could happen in that area, or is there still really a lot of conversations to be had between you, Daniel, and Alex?
Yeah, I've not spoke to Alex about it. I normally give him the wiggly finger every March, and we have our yearly conversations. So we'll no doubt do that again in international break. We've also got Mario to consider out of contract in the summer, and Michael McGovern, who I've already had a conversation with about us extending his stay, because all three are very important, not just players but as people. In terms of Alex, to go back to your question, I think I haven't seen what he said, but I think he's still got so much to offer on the pitch, whatever division we're in, before he worries too much about coaching. But he's a player who's been here a long time, who deserves the respect that he'll be given from the club, and that will be a conversation, whether that's extending his playing days, whether it's what he wants to do next in his career. Alex will know it's not just as easy as hanging up your boots and becoming a first team coach or whatever. There's a journey to sort of go on to get to that sort of level. But yeah, when the time's right, I'll have that with him. Obviously, if it's about playing and stuff, obviously Daniel, as always, will be involved in that as well. But yeah, we'll have that when the time's right. Alex is experienced enough to know at the minute he's got a job to do on the pitch and around our players, because when we talked to the previous question about experience, there's no one better than him for knowing how to get through this this last 18 games, and that all his focus needs to be on that at the moment. But one thing Alex knows, and I think everyone knows at this club, is that we're very fair and we're open with our guys, and people who do well for us, we do well for them. So if Alex wants to stay longer, we'd be delighted to have that conversation. But yeah, like I say, I'll have that with him when the time's right.